This moment counts. Make this moment count. This moment will lead to much more significant moments. All right, our first speaker tonight, Chuck Hansen. He's a new volunteer with the Richmond Tea Party and an even newer chairman of our marketing committee. Chuck is going to talk about change we can believe in and chance we should not believe in. Change we can believe in and change we should not believe in. Ladies and gentlemen, Chuck Hansen.
How's everybody doing? All right. You hear a lot about change these days, don't you? Now, there's change we can't avoid. There's change you just got to live with. Do we have any stock car fans out here? Chesterfield's own Denny Hamlin, any fans? Now, stock car racing, who can tell me what stock car used to mean? A stock car, right? You take a stock car, comes right off the factory line, you run it around the track, the fans can go down to the dealership on Monday, buy the same car, right? Is it that way anymore? No. Today's stock cars have about as many factory original parts on them as a Victoria's Secret lingerie model. I'm not saying it's not fun to watch the stock car race.
Yeah, right.
Now that's a change we got to live with. And you know what? It's kind of fun to watch those guys go around. But there's some things, some changes we don't want to live with. And there are some things that never change. And some of those things are the principles that the Richmond Tea Party is based on. Principles like constitutional governance, adhering to the Constitution, limited government, fiscal restraint, free markets, and virtue and accountability in our leaders. We're going to make them accountable this November. Now let me tell you, if you believe in the stuff you just heard, and you come out here, think about coming out to the Richmond Tea Party and volunteering, because this is an organization where you can make a huge difference because it's just the right size. But we've got a platform right now. You just saw the news. The cameras are here. We can make a difference. So come out to the Richmond Tea Party, volunteer, help us out, help us make a change in November. Thank you very much.
Up next is the Executive Director of the Virginia Campaign for Liberty and organizer of the Virginia 10th Amendment Resolution. You know what that is, right? Yeah. That's the thing that's going to make sure that that health care law gets kicked out. Taught herself how to be a lobbyist. And you got to really respect somebody like that who's swimming with those dirt bags every day doing the right thing. She taught herself how to be a lobbyist. She has been working hard for common sense legislation in the state capitol long before there was a Tea Party movement. She was one of the citizens that recognized the path that the state was on and was moving away from the values of the Founding Fathers. So thank you, Donna, for your dedication. Let's hear it for Donna Holt.
Thank you for giving me an opportunity to be here to speak to all of you. You know, in 1773, the colonists in Boston decided they'd had enough of the heavy taxing by the British king. But rather than return 3 shiploads of taxed tea to Britain, they decided to destroy the tea, so they threw it overboard into the Boston harbor. Yeah. They were so dedicated to the banner of liberty that they would no longer allow the king's arrogance to impose high taxes and deny them of the rights they were entitled to. So they took the law into their own hands, and they started a revolution and won their independence from the tyranny of the British government. Now we are under the control of a Washington empire, determined to tax everything, including the air we breathe. They ignored millions millions of Americans who went to Washington to protest Obamacare passed that atrocity of a bill anyway. They want us to believe that Obamacare is good for America. But they didn't tell you what it would cost the taxpayers, or that it would kill jobs and increase the cost of goods and services. They also didn't tell you that buried inside that bill is something called establishing the Ready Reserve Corps. This part of the bill will turn our National Guard into an army of enforcers trained by and with the military and taken out of the control of the governor and placed under the control of the president to do as he sees fit. Well, I don't know about you, but that scares the ever-loving heck out of me. They've somehow come to the conclusion that those of us who believe in the Constitution, those of us who would invoke such radical ideas as liberty and individual responsibility, are terrorists. Our federal government does more to defend themselves against their own citizenry than they do against the real terrorist. And they do nothing. They do nothing to secure our borders against illegal invaders who drain our system and rob us of our wealth every day. But you know what? Like the founders, we took the law into our own hands. When Campaign for Liberty invited Tea Party leaders across Virginia to join us in the Virginia 10th Amendment Revolution, thousands of patriots representing more than 30 Tea Party groups gathered at the Virginia Capitol in support of the Virginia Healthcare Freedom Act. We trained our army of citizen lobbyists and won the overwhelming support of Republicans and Democrats in both houses of the General Assembly, and I'm proud to say Virginia Healthcare Freedom Act became law on March the 24th. This bill is so important to our freedoms. Passing this bill puts us in much better standing to file suit against Catherine Sebelius and Congress. And furthermore, our Attorney General has already filed that suit. Thank you, Janelle. But folks, this is just one battle in an even greater war yet to fight. And it will take the dedication of every one of you to restore our freedoms. So I'm asking you to join me and follow the examples of the founders. Join the 10th Amendment revolution to reclaim our republic. If we're to call ourselves patriots, we are laying claim to the heritage of the founders. Let us also claim their dedication, claim their courage and their fearlessness, claim their willingness and to sacrifice and suffer in the great name of liberty.
We're coming!
Return the words of freedom to your lexicon. Let your children hear what freedom sounds like. Let your churches hear what freedom sounds like. Let your friends and neighbors hear what freedom sounds like. But most of all, let your elected officials hear the sounds of freedom from every corner of Virginia. Thank you, and God bless you.
So I walk backstage and Ken Cuccinelli's there. Wow. They pull out the big guns here. You don't mess around. Up next, it's my...